Hello, everyone. My name is Saba Shabaka, and I am one of the co-founders for Black Terps Matter. Alyssa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, sure. Yeah. So hi, everybody. My name is Alyssa Conway, she, her, hers. I'm also one of the co-founders for Black Terps Matter. And yeah, I'm very excited to be here with you all and give a quick overview about BTM and what it stands for.
Yes, and Nadia Owusu can't be here with us today, but she's absolutely here in spirit. And just like Alyssa said, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So today is March 10th, 2021, and it's 7:45 p.m. And it's the end of the day on a Wednesday, but we're very excited to be here and give this short presentation to tell anyone who watches this about everything about Black Terps Matter, everything that we feel like is relevant, and basically where we'd like to point you to if you would like more information about us. And also currently we are taking in applications for advantageous organizers and activists on UMB's campus that would like to organize with Black Terps Matter. So if you're interested in that, definitely make sure to hit us up or hit up, at Black Terps Matter on Instagram, and someone can definitely help you out, even if it's not organizing with Black Terps Matter specifically. If you're interested in getting more involved in the community, we can absolutely act as, that consultant to help you find out what your resources are available and different things like that. So we're going to start right into it. First, we're going to be actually going through the website because that's one stable place that anyone can find out about us and our history at any point in time. So I'm just going to share my screen. And so this is our website. And website's very special to us because honestly, that's where a lot of people found out about Black Terps Matter so far. Because we are online, because it's a pandemic, kind of forgot to mention that too, like we are in a pandemic and trying to organize an anti-racist coalition. So it's been pretty difficult with that aspect of things, the communication and retention and everything like that. But that's why we made sure to have a website that we're able to host everything on. So if you go to our website, you see you can sign up for our listserv. We give out all of the really important, pertinent information through our listserv. So I do recommend everyone to go to our website and sign up if you're interested in learning more or in supporting Black Terps Matter. We have our mission statement on here, so I'm going to read that real quick because it is important. Black Terps Matter is a grassroots anti-racist communal coalition that aims to dismantle all forms and constructs of systemic racism and oppression at the University of Maryland. We employ transparency and intersectionality to support any and all forms of anti-racist idealism. We promote diverse experiences and perspectives substantiated by facts and data to educate expeditious activists whom we align ourselves with. We intend to hold all entities pertaining to the university accountable for every one of their actions, assertions, propensities, and implications. So that's our mission statement, Black Terps Matter, and our land acknowledgement statement. So I'm going to read this as well. We acknowledge the truth that is often buried. We are on the ancestral lands of the Piscataway people, who were among the first in the Western Hemisphere. We are on indigenous land that was stolen from the Piscataway people by European colonists. We pay respect to Piscataway elders and ancestors. Please take a moment to consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that has brought us here today. We were founded on the unceded land of the Piscataway Conoy people. We ask you to join us in acknowledging the Piscataway Conoy tribe of Maryland's community, their elders, both past and present, as well as future generations. You can find more information about the Piscataway at piscatawayconoytribe.com. Black Terps Matter also acknowledges that in our foundation, we gathered without any exclusions and erasures of any indigenous people, purposefully so. We will use our platform to build strong networks among other Black and Indigenous-led organizations at the University of Maryland and strengthen our ongoing work addressing violence against all vulnerable communities. And so that's our land acknowledgement statement. And we think it's very important to do that every time that we talk about Black Terps Matter in public, or we are introducing ourselves to a group of people that don't know what Black Terps Matter is and where we came from, because we think it's really important to acknowledge the truth that is often buried. So we make it very accessible to see. That's honestly the first two things that you see when you go to our website. And so this first page is really nice because it's like a Black Terps Matter at a glance. So
There's
if you
a
scroll
nice
all
little overview.
Yeah, it's a nice little overview, right? I say so too. If you go to the bottom, I recommend starting at the bottom. You see the three lovely organizers. That's us. I'm right here in the middle. This is yeah, that's what I'm saying. The lovely Alyssa Conway that you saw earlier, with her cool virtual background, and Nadia Owusu, who cannot be with us here tonight, but she is very much a part of Black Terps Matter. And so these are some pictures from our first protest that we had. It was on the campus of the University of Maryland. We went to a couple different places. We marched there. We did many chants, and we had student speakers come up, as well as UMD alums and elected officials. So these are just some shots from that. That's me and Alyssa. Alyssa Sign says,
wow, this feels like yesterday. This is crazy.
Crazy. Also on here, well, just in general, we think it's really important to make sure our voice is heard. So we attend a lot of town halls constantly, like since we began, all the way still through to now. We're 9 months in. I can literally say that one of us has been at almost all of the town halls that has happened on campus that our administration has hosted. So that is how seriously we take, getting informed and being a part of the conversation, and not just hearing about it from like the Diamondback or anyone else actually being there firsthand. So on our website, we have one of the town halls that we went to that actually the newly appointed President Pines was there, and he was speaking. And so that was really exciting because, this is the second ever Black president that the University of Maryland has ever had. And so we were able to be a part of this town hall. I think if I scroll deep enough, and yeah, that's me. I was there and I said something, even though I wasn't really supposed to, but that's kind of the point of Black Terps Matter. And so I'm really happy to say that we are there. In the month of July, we also hosted weekly meetings. This is basically right after our protest, actually. So we wanted to make sure that we heard everything that our supporters had to say to us. So like this protest happened on June 25th, 2020. And we started hosting weekly meetings in July, the next month. And we did host those meetings, and they are public, and we recorded, I think like half of them. So anyone can go to the Black Terps Matter page and find those videos if they'd like. We also have our contact information on here, which is really important. People reach out to us all the time. So with all different types of requests for commentary. There was actually a Washington Post reporter that I talked to earlier this week about low Black student enrollment at Maryland, which is a problem that we've been having for a long time. So we make it very accessible to reach us. And we also have a Calendly that people can directly set up time with us on our calendars. It's synced with our calendars. And Calendly, I'm not trying to get too far off or anything, is actually, that's an entire software that was developed by a Black man. And I'm very happy to promote that service, because it's definitely like, for Black Terps Matter, I have to say that we've scheduled at least 50 meetings using our Calendly link. And, that's opportunities to easily meet with so many different people around the community. So that's just one piece of technology that Black Terps definitely utilized. We also had the opportunity to sit on panels. So in July, again, this is a month after our first protest, when we first came together, June 25th, this is 16 days after, about 20 days after, I sat on a panel personally on behalf of Black Terps Matter, trying to tell everyone about just some of the issues that we're working on. So you can go to our website, you can find this panel really easily. And these are some more pictures from our first protest. We actually had more than 200 people come out. Students, faculty, staff, administrators, alum, everyone. These are some more pictures from it. So this is actually the VP of Student Affairs, Patty Perlow, who came to our protest. And she even had her hands up, like she was saying, hands up, don't shoot. So, oops.
Yeah,
and that's what the protest looked like.
This protest was definitely like a large like stepping point as to like how we were able to expand as a coalition and be able to really you know, start this moment and really speaking like truth to power and really talking about the vast like forms of systemic institutionalized oppression happening here at the university. This like really was a very historic moment in time because this was also just like mutually on top of the already ongoing Black Lives Matter protests. And so that, you know, gave us the fuel like as UMD students to really make sure that we are doing our diligence as well to make sure that we are stepping up, you know, in behalf of our Black UMD community and beyond. So we have so many pictures, you know, of this great protest because it really meant a lot into really stamping the foundation as to who we are and how we were able to really grow and expand as a coalition here. And so yeah, like Saba said, like we had like 200 people show to this event. So that really just like gave so much into acknowledging that this is something that the UMD community stands for and continues to do so in multiple ways. So yeah, it was a great moment in time for us, right?
Yes, thank you for adding that, Alyssa. And it really did, you know, just to speak humbly, like it really started off something that I'm not sure that these students on this campus right now, or part of the UMD community as students right now, have seen. The last large scale protest that honestly that has happened on campus, I don't want to say the last large scale protest, but one of the biggest protests that happened on campus was in 2016, Protect UMD. And so that was my freshman year, and now I'm a senior. So I know a lot of these students had not seen something even this big, and a lot of people told us too. And so we can only hope, you know, that direct action was able to spark some, you know, fires and the light for a few of the students here. But shout out to everyone that was in this, was in this picture. And then we also have President Pines right there in the middle, and because he also came to the protest. So yeah, that's June 25th, 2020 will definitely go down in history, just like it says, at 4 p.m. And from there, we moved on. We also had a teach-in on July 23rd. And so this was a month later, and we specifically used this opportunity. This is a great picture of Alyssa at it. I love this picture so much. And we use this opportunity to educate the UMD community about all of the different coalitions and groups that were currently working to fight the systemic racism at our school. We have the notes from that event, and they're open to the public. Yeah, they're literally right here. If you go to the website, you can find all of the links that we gave out, and all the things that we directed people towards. And if you go also to that link, you'll see the entire event. We recorded the entire event. So we're trying to make things extremely accessible for people. Most of our events are actually recorded 100% of the way through and accessible to people through our website. So yeah, and we were also able to go to the 2020 March on Washington. That was an extremely, you know, I honestly can't even explain how much that moment meant to me, to be there, to be able to record it, and to be able to bring that back to the University of Maryland, and you know, have people be able to easily watch it through through a YouTube playlist. Like, it really has never been as easy as this. Like, I just clicked into it just now. You see 122 people have watched, you know, this playlist so far, which I think is super cool. But on it is 18 videos like firsthand from the March on Washington. I remember this is when
not only as a race, but as a person or society had their knee on your neck. We could have developed and been as successful as others, but society had their knee on our neck. But we're not going to lay and submit no more. We're not going to take it. Some have different tactics, but we all are rising up. You're going to get your knee off our neck. If we got a mind.
Yep. And so that's entire, I just encourage everyone to watch that playlist because there were so many. I mean, we had Breonna Taylor's mom talk. We had George Floyd's mom talk. We had Trayvon Martin's mom talk. And, you know, they all came to us very genuinely and empathetically with different calls to action. And I think that that's the least that we could give them is our time and, you know, to watch this video, to hear what they had to say, because yeah, it's free and accessible. So the March on Washington was really important. And I should also definitely add that for the March on Washington, we made it doubly accessible because we also hosted on campus, we hosted like basically a room. Alyssa, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, the event that was shared in the same day. Yeah, so it was actually like a pretty great opportunity for UMD students to also take to feel like that they were right at the March on Washington, you know, with Saba and with the rest of the group that were actually able to attend in DC. We actually set up an event that allowed students to come to what is
ESJ?
ESJ, thank you.
Okay.
And yeah, it was ESJ. We were allowed to go to like the basement ESJ.
It was in partnership with ODI, right? Or I mean, not ODI, Micah, right?
It was with Micah, yeah, because Brandon Dula was there. Yeah. So we were in partnership with Micah. We had access to go to the basement of ESJ and really just be able to sit and watch the full overview like of March on Washington and, you know, really be able to see it live. And it was a really great opportunity like for students to really feel like that they were there in that moment. I mean, I was there, Brandon was there, maybe a couple others kind of came in and out, but it was still like a great, you know, showing of the March on Washington. And yeah, I feel I couldn't help but recommend everyone that didn't get a chance to feel like that they were there at the time to definitely watch the videos that Saba so graciously recorded to make us feel like that we're still there even to this very day. So yeah, I highly recommend that.
Cool. Thanks, Alyssa. And yeah, thank you again to Alyssa for hosting that on campus. She was there on behalf of Black Terps Matter. I was at the march in person. So we all fill in different ways. And we're on.
Somebody had to be here.
Because it's a pandemic, you know, we wanted to make it accessible. That's also the point of us saying that too. It's not like you actually have to be at any of these places to stay active. You could do whatever works for you.
Yeah, and just as like one little quick note, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but like I feel like one of the this is giving respect to a larger point about how one of the biggest things like for Black Terps Matter is transparency. We want to just like make sure that not only do students have you know of all, you know, have opportunity to feel like they can be a part of the picture, but that it feels like it is close to them, that it is somewhere that they feel like they can do so in a way that is user friendly to them. So that's, you know, why we kind of host events all the time of like making sure that anyone could be a part of the picture, you know, from their living room to, you know, a building, you know, down the street, like on our campus. We always, and even having it on the mall, you know, we always give like opportunities for students to feel like, well, I say students subjectively just because I am one, but it's very open to the entire UMD community, especially Black UMD community, on, you know, permitting these events, whether now, of course, mostly virtual or at the time we were in some shape or form in person, that everyone has that moment where they can fully feel like they can be there and that they can truly be a part of the move towards social justice. And so that's one of the biggest things that we try to do as a coalition, and that we will continue to have that as our aspiring goal from here on out, like we have been since the beginning.
Absolutely. There's no gatekeeping. There's no gatekeeping here. We don't even
Right.
even have do any gatekeeping if we wanted to. So no one else should feel like there's nothing that they're not able to do, you know? Because you can do whatever, anything that you set your mind to. Like, us Black Terps Matter. We're not even official SGA registered organization. So
Big brain.
if that gives some context to you all about. But anyways, so we do many things in the community. Unfortunately, I'm actually mad looking back on it now that we don't have more about mutual aid on our front page, because we do a lot giving back and collaborating with other organizations and stuff like that. So we do so much, but this is just a snapshot of literally 5 of the things that we've done. One of the things that we did that I'm very happy to say that we've done was we went to a Mochella. So this is me and the amazing Sydney. She was in another one of the pictures from our first protest, but she's one of the great supporters of Black Terps Matter. I'm so thankful to have her. And so this is when we went to basically a concert called Mochella that was hosted by an organization named Long Live Go-Go. And so this is a go-go band on their truck that is performing, and everyone else is listening and rejoicing. And so go-go is the official music of DC. I have on a hat, but I don't have my hat with me right now. I think it's in my car. And I love go-go personally. So that's why I was very happy to be there. As you can see, my Black Power fist up. And so we also have the recording from the events. Again, you know, I'm always going to come back at y'all with these playlists, these YouTube playlists, because it makes it so easy to, you know, tap in. So I 100% do recommend everyone, if you don't know what go-go is, do some research. You know, it's great. This is just a little bit of go-go music for y'all, if it decides to load.
Say so. Say that. What they say last all. I just wanna see. See your please.
Yeah. So another playlist for you, just in case, you know, you're running out of some content to watch or something on YouTube. I don't know. We got some content for you on the Black Terps Matter page. So I guess this is some pictures of mutual aid. This is a picture from the first movie night that we hosted. So on October 3rd, we started hosting movie nights to bring together the different college communities. So basically in this picture, you can see me, Saba, senior at the University of Maryland, but we also have students from Bowie State University. He went to Bowie. She goes to the University of Maryland Global Campus, which used to be the University of Maryland University College, which is actually where my mom graduated from officially. But they changed my name, I guess, because UMUC was too difficult, to Global Campus. And that's where she goes. So that's pretty cool. My friend Anaya is my very, very good friend Anaya. She goes to Howard University. And my friend Kevin, he graduated from Marymount University in Virginia. So in this picture, you have 5 different Black students, or, you know, Black youth from different colleges. And, you know, the opportunity is endless. And there was more people at this event, and we had more movie nights past this, and there are more people there. And so I really love bringing the community together. We had, matter of fact, the movie nights is actually a concept that Sydney, the person that you saw before, had come up with. And so this is actually her parents out. And so I'm glad that we got her parents in the picture, because they're extremely supportive of her and of Black Terps Matter. They love everything that we're doing. So, and Sydney is the person that took the picture. So just for some context, so you can know these pictures have a lot of meaning to them. This is a picture that I wish Alyssa could have been in, because she was there around, but this was a crazy day. I can't even, oh, matter of fact, I think Grishma was there too. But actually I can't even remember. It was so long ago. I think this was October 16th, 2020. And in this picture, we have representatives from some great DMV organizations. So this is Beth. She's a part of the Palm Collective. This is Tim. He's a part of the Live Movement, which is an HBCU coalition. These two are core organizers for Black Lives Matter DC. As you can see on all of the shirts, it says Black Lives Matter DC. This is me, Black Terps Matter. My friend Anaya, the Live Movement. She's also currently the Howard University NAACP president. A phenomenal woman. I definitely think that everyone should check her out, Anaya Vines. And this is Miss LaDawn. She's from a nonprofit named Spaces in Action. And this is Jonathan. He's a part of Freedom Fighters, DC. So this picture just means a lot to me because it's just so much solidarity. You know, there's so many people from so many different organizations coming together, saying that Black Lives Matter. So, and that we keep us safe. And so those are just two pictures on there that have, but pictures tell 1,000 words, I'll tell you. But, and then these pictures were taken at an event that we hosted in Southeast on Wheeler Road, actually. It was a trunk or treat that we put together. And so Black Terps Matter is a part of a coalition called the Not One More Coalition. And so it's a coalition focusing on gun violence awareness. And so we host different events inside of communities that are impacted to just kind of take the weight off. Prior to this was October 31st, 2020. Just the same week, a man named Karan Hilton Brown had been murdered by MPD. He was chased down on a Rebel scooter by the police department, by MPD. And MPD has a policy called the no chase policy, making it illegal for people to do that, to chase people. And the police officer, his name is Terrence Sutton, he violated that policy and left Karan in a coma, and he ended up passing away at the hospital without ever getting to see his family. And so that same police officer is actually still in the force. He actually was put on leave for a second, and then they just gave him back his job. So we still haven't been able to find any justice for him. So in the real moment, in the same week that it happened, we hosted a Halloween event for the community that was impacted by his loss. So that is just that picture. There's just some pictures from that event. And lastly, this is the Black Terps Matter Protect UMD time capsule that we had on November 17th, 2020. This event, this direct action hits very close to home for me because it happened on my birthday. It's my 22nd birthday when I took this picture. So it's like, I always get to look back at this picture and think about that. Most people probably don't, but I do. So, and so for my 22nd birthday, I organized a time capsule. And so we had more than 20 different student leaders and alum of UMD. We had Howard University students, different organizations from UMD were representing, like Mary Perg, Preventing Sexual Assault, UMD Students United Against Sweatshops, and a lot of different organizations. Howard University's NAACP was out there, and we had also student activists from 2016 and 2015 also. And so again, I'm always gonna say y'all go watch the playlist, but no, really, this playlist is probably the most important to me. And definitely one that I want everyone to go watch. So as you can see here, all the different names of all the different people. You can click specifically to one of them. This one, Anaya Vines, that one's great. Nadia Owusu, she's not here, but if you still want to hear her speak, you can go here, listen to her talk for 8 minutes. And yeah, all of this is public, and because, we're trying to be extremely transparent, and we don't really have any secrets. I mean, there's really nothing. If anyone comes to Black Terps Matter and asks for help, like, we're always going to be willing to give help. Like, just as much as you see on this website is like as much as like we'd be able to give to anyone at any given point if they want to know about Black Terps Matter or anything of this sort. So really, that's our website and where you can find out any information about us other than what we're saying here today. And yeah, I guess that's just that section. And I'm gonna
there's a lot of beautiful stuff on that website. Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful stuff on that website. And I feel like at least specifically like in regards to the time capsule, I think what was great about it is even though it was quite literally one of the most coldest times I've ever felt like I've had in my life, because it was piercing cold.
Mine too. Mine too.
Like it was
So cold.
insane as to how cold it was, but it definitely felt like that there was like a lot of warmth there from everyone speaking out, and really like tied together, you know, a lot of the beautiful things that, you know, that the student body is doing, and of course, you know, our outside communities are doing. And really, yeah, just kind of like hit home and gave a full circle, you know, at least for Sabo, for her being here with like Protect UMD back in 2016 and being able to have like the full immersion in that. And then now, you know, giving that little cute fast forward, like 4 years later, you know, we're still fighting the same fight, you know. So it's definitely, you know, major respect to everyone that was a part, you know, of that moment back in 2016. And, you know, and may this point in time now, of course, be of a continued, you know, is it homage? I think homage is the right word. Yeah, continued homage to that, and yeah, and may we, you know, continue on.
And yeah, you know, we basically have the entire time that we've been, you know, organizing, we've been talking about the past, and people have even pointed that out. You know, people email us and they're like, "We see that Black Terps Matter has a big emphasis on knowing your history," and so I think I could say, subjectively speaking, that that's something that we've tried to do consciously, and so I'm glad to see that other people think so too. And just like you said, it's crazy to see 4 years. Still fighting the same issues. But if we look back to 1968, when they first started, you know, the Black Student Union, they also were also fighting for the same stuff from then too. So it's just something interesting, like specifically an increase in admitted Black students. We're still fighting for that.
Yeah. So within like all of our moves, like we always give respect, you know, to our former, you know, freedom fighters out there. And so like, you know, within this context of like, of the questions being of, you know, how much we know our history and how much we always give respect to our history, we always do, right? Within like every project that we enact, and in every, you know, group / organization that we work with, like there's always some historical context that's like related as to, you know, why we like pursue this fight, and why we, and it kind of, if anything, really continues to illuminate the fire that we have as to why we want to really push things through, because yeah, we're not doing it for just ourselves and, you know, our future generations. We're also doing it with respect to our previous ones as well. So
absolutely. And I'm glad you said that too, because it makes me want to go back to our website just for a
Jesus
second.
God.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. Hopefully we can cut this out in the recording. But oh my God, I just saw your desktop. Jesus, I'm sorry.
Files.
So many files, bro.
That's so funny. Well, you know, when you're on a MacBook and you take like a screenshot, it just puts it on your desktop.
Yeah, I know. It's just my bad, bro. I thought I was muted for a second.
No, first of all, we definitely cannot edit this out. I mean, I don't want to, because that's funny. But I have some anxiety when I look at my desktop too. But it's not that bad. I didn't think it was that bad. I used to have so many that they would be like piled on top of each other like 3 times. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, you know, people's OCD is definitely different. Like, I'll be okay with that. I can't have anything on my table, no clutter. So I don't
Each
know.
of their own.
Yeah, right. So to our website though, I just wanted to point out that right here we have this tab called True Activism at UMD. And in that, we actually put together what we consider some of the most important facts of Black student activism. So if anyone, you know, we don't want to just talk about, you know, we know our history and like not like give it out to anyone for anyone else to read. Basically everything on here is what we know. So we wanted to make this really accessible. We talk about we try to talk about everything that has happened since the first Black student came to the University of Maryland in 1951, Hiram Whittle. And so we have a lot on here that has to do with that. We have the entire special project that the Student Coalition Protect UMD did with the Diamondback, which was so important because if they didn't do this special project with the Diamondback, I literally don't know if it would be easy for us to access this content, all of these words and everything. As far as I understand right now, they just have a Twitter page. That's literally it. And if you search in Protect UMD on Google, you'll find some stuff. But I'm glad that they did that special project. And there's also a video. So if y'all can see how many people were a part of this. 2016.
For just asking students to come out and to support each other. This is not an anti-Trump rally. This is not an anti-Republican rally. No anti-administration.
Yeah, sorry, just some context. This rally happened directly after Trump became president. Before he was even like officially inaugurated and everything. Like he was, I guess, officially elected, if you want to call it that, November 4th, 2016. This protest happened on November 16th, 2016. So it wasn't in response to that. They had been organizing this protest for a while, and they were going to do it regardless of who won the presidency. So that's just really consoling to know.
This is all about supporting people who need our help on campus. We're just trying to make Maryland a sanctuary campus where everyone can just feel safe and welcomed here.
We are one, and that's a great way to visualize that. It's also really powerful to not just say, you know, there's 40 organizations involved in this, but to see how many people are actually behind the movement.
But this right here, this is unity. This is what you can do when you can come together and bring people together. We can have positive effects on the world. Thank you.
Yeah, so please definitely go to the page and find out more about Protect UMD in response to, and everything. Learn about the president's response to Protect UMD and about how that's been deleted since, and so many other things. This is a historical moment for the UMD community. The Do-Rag Day that was hosted in 2017. This has never happened before. This is one thing that we know for sure. This has never happened before at UMD. A group of Black students has never come together and taken pictures openly with their do-rags and bonnets on. And so I'm very happy to be right here with the bonnet, the same bonnet that I went to sleep in. And yeah, so that's basically how we're coming. So yeah, just go to the site, learn more, find out about all this, anything, there's so much information to learn. And we're constantly learning too. I don't want to make it seem like, we're pros or anything. Constantly unlearning and learning both like racial biases, but also just about everything. Like this is a journey. Anti-racism is a journey. And so, yeah, I guess that's really what I just wanted to talk about for the first part. And then we are going to take about 12 more minutes to go through the second part, which is just questions. It's basically questions that people may want to know about the organizers, because like we are the co-founders, like we really basically created it. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy. But I guess I do have to say, we couldn't have done any of this by ourselves. I think, we just spent some time talking about our history and everything. So it is all thanks to our ancestors, to God, and to the people that, faculty members, staff members, the anti-racist coalitions that have formed to support us. Like, thank you all. Yeah, thank you all. And so now we're gonna just answer some questions that have been asked of us. And so I'm gonna just start it off with the first one, because yeah. So the first question, it says, tell me about yourself. So personally, my name is Saba Shabaka. I am Ethiopian and Congolese, and I'm 22 and a Black woman. And I first enrolled at the University of Maryland in the summer of 2016. So I came in early to the University of Maryland through a program called the Academic Achievement Program. And my current major is philosophy, politics, and economics. And yeah, I said I'm a Black woman. So Alyssa, did you want to go through those?
Yeah. So All right, again, for the introduction. So hi, my name is Alyssa. I am a Black woman. I'm 21 years old. I actually enrolled at the University of Maryland in 2017. So I came just a year after, Protect UMD, and also in further context, I came a few months after the trigger warning, after the murder of First Lieutenant Richard Collins on campus. And so when I came in to the university, it was originally always a very hostile environment that was brewing of wanting to have some demanded institutional change based off of that exact moment. I will be graduating in May of this year, so good news for that. And actually, I'm a double major. So I major in government politics and public policy. And I share a concentration within education policy, which is where most of my efforts and aspirations lie in. So.
Thank you for sharing. So the next question is, tell us about your first time getting involved in racial justice activism at UMD. So the first time that I got involved in the work is my freshman year. I actually was elected president of the Black Student Union Freshman Council. So I called that my first time getting involved in specifically racial justice work, because prior to that, I had some leadership positions, like in high school, I started my own club. It was called Student to Student, because the school that I was at in high school was like near a military base, so everyone was a transfer student. So I just made a club to try and help people, meet other people, find out about the school and stuff like that. But it didn't have anything to do with racial justice. So I wouldn't say that, oh, thank you. I wouldn't say that that's, where my activism started or my fight in racial justice. It definitely started with the Black Student Union at the University of Maryland that my friends from high school actually convinced me to get involved in. If they didn't, convince me to do that, I literally don't know if I would be here right now. So shout out to my friends from high school. And Alyssa, did you want to answer that question?
Yeah, for me, I feel like I've have a good history of community work and service. I feel like I've been doing that for a long time now. That is definitely populated when I became a freshman at the university, but explicitly when it came to racial justice, it was definitely when it was my sophomore year and I was getting heavily involved with NAACP on campus. I was in the exec board as the public relations chair, but a lot of the work that we did that year with Jasmine Washington, former EMD alumni, as my president, was specialized in wanting to make sure that there was stronger racial equity and elongating the pursuit of social justice on campus. So it was great. I really loved and still love my my exec board that I worked with, and we were in continuous we were doing continuous efforts with the band network and with affiliated community organizations throughout campus. And so that's kind of the biggest moment as to when I was starting to actually see the full scope as to how much racial justice activism is brewed at the university.
Wow.
My big break there.
Was Jasmine the president when NAACP, or we had that protest for Jordan?
Oh Lord, yeah. Okay.
Great.
Yeah, so war flashbacks.
I thought that was it was an amazing demonstration. Personally, it really moved me.
Yeah, it was okay. So it's definitely a packed event. It was a really great event. Don't get me wrong. It was very humbling and moving to see so many UMD students come out with in support of Jordan McNair. That unfortunately passed away here through sheer negligence on behalf of the entire athletics department, especially DJ Durkin. But yeah, I feel like the only reason why I even noted it to be in that connotation is just because of the fact that there was so much grappling within the I would say and this is frustrating to say, but this is also a part of social justice work, is the political process that was involved within like putting it all together. Things kind of got like jumbled in some points in time, even though the entire event like was able to really, I mean, I think at the end of the day was able to get through as to what the main objective was to make sure that we just had the respect for Jordan McNair. But I think there were, I'm sorry.
There were disagreements for sure, just as
Yeah. I'm actually about to note that a little bit. Yeah, because there was a lot of controversy as to kind of how the respect was given. Because like complicated stuff. So like formally with you know, I would say with SGA and like some members there, like there was like this idea that I don't know whether it was something that they worked alongside with the athletics department or not. I'm not exactly sure about how the theatrics came as to what happened, but at the protest, you know, there was a showing where you know, post us marching around and, you know, like showing you know, our giving out our chants. You know, for Jordan, there was already kind of some estranged like, you know, feel like, at least from everybody there, because like some of the chants were kind of like ill-founded. It was just like kind of sound like it was like a baseball game. It was, I don't know, like it wasn't fitting. And I'm not going to talk on this too much because I know we got to get through some of the rest of these questions, but I feel like that this is fair, you know, within the discussion, because when we do talk about, you know, racial justice activism and social justice work, like these are some scenarios, right, that might end up kind of coming up within one's journey, and like how to be able to navigate those types of spaces that, you know, might end up, you know, kind of getting more strained than originally meant. So yeah, I'm just saying this for transparency purposes. So like, yeah, it just kind of ended up kind of getting a little out of control, I would say, just at least within behalf of just speaking from one that was on the e-board, like for the NAACP, and like we kind of just had to do a lot within trying to like patch up a lot of the pieces that kind of like fell through. Like at some point, like baseball tickets, I'm sorry. Football tickets were like starting to become like get handed out like to the rest of the crowd to like try and show support and like attend the game. Yeah. And it just like was like, nah. Like everyone was like, yo, what are you doing? And then over here looking stuck on stupid because we're like standing up on the steps and we're like, this was not us, people. Like, yikes.
This is a young Black man that was a football player that was murdered by the football team at Maryland. Undoubtedly, there was an investigation that happened and the culture was deemed toxic. It's undoubted that the football team and the culture of the football team is what killed him. And then they're gonna give out tickets to the football game, the next football game.
Yeah, which was like, that just sparked like fight or flight mode. I'm gonna be frank with like the entire e-board. We were like, yo, what is going on here? Like this was not in any shape or form what we sponsored. Like it was a wild child. So yeah, I say this within reason, just to tie this back, is like, yeah, like my activism definitely spurred at that moment, because you know, like I'm getting, you know, comments like from you know, from Black students. They're just like, why would you support that? Why was that even something that was like within your radar? Like, did you get the tickets? It was just like just crazy stuff, right? It was like even questioning, you know, my own legitimacy and NAACP's legitimacy. And we just had to be like flat out like, look, no, we had nothing to do with that. I'm sorry. Like, I know like that was not as to what was supposed to happen, and we know that for sure that was not supposed to happen, but like we had no control over that, and like we had to take our own, you know, opportunity to be able to really speak out, and kind of going back into, you know, knowing our history, knowing our mission, knowing our purpose, on behalf of the NAACP, to speak out like, look, like these are our standards, like this is what we stand for. And this was, you know, originally as to how we were trying to you know, give our respect for Jordan. And like some things are going to happen in life that are sincerely out of our control, and that was something of what we had to try to work with, to patch. And you know, that was of an unfortunate situation that we wish, you know, kind of gave more light appropriately to Jordan, who was regrettably murdered in behalf of the toxic culture that was bred by the athletics department, specifically the football team. And yeah, like going back, definitely would make some crucial changes to make sure that that wouldn't happen. But yeah, a lot of stuff happened within the political process that, definitely took a large toll as to kind of how UMD shaped itself into giving its respect for Jordan when it needed to at that time. So.
And that's organizing, everything that you said makes sense too. Cause I mean, a lot of it is trial and error. We just have to figure it out as we go. We can't stop collaborating. Like we can't say no when people want to come together in community about a common cause that's hurting us all,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so you take some L's, we've taken some L's. Everyone, it happens to everyone. But at the end of the day, I mean, I feel like if me as like a subjective, just general student that found out about it when I was in class, like, oh, I'm gonna walk out of class because we're walking out of class, that's what we're doing. It seemed like it wasn't too hectic. Like I don't look back on it like, oh my gosh, I know these people.
Yeah. Student perspective, moving. Organizer perspective, part of this, something else. Just a little bit.
So I'm also glad that you said that because this is the part that people are supposed to get to know you. Like I'm sure people did not know about the stuff that you just said, or like they don't know about it. So, and I'm glad that they got to hear it from your mouth.
And that's important for like recruits too, that are like wanting to be a part of being an organizer. It's all about getting used to expect the unexpected. And like, I think that, most definitely this is good stuff to be able to hear from, because at least you can take the lessons, that I concurred from, from previous organizers and kind of just seeing like, oh, like this happened here. So let's try to maybe not make that same mistake again here and fix things here. Like it's all about trial and error, like you said. And the more that, organizers that are interested and want to be able to pursue, activism will figure out is like, like a lot of this stuff is basically just stuff that we learned from our predecessors and moving on and refiltering and restyling. And so, I hope that, that takeaway, that that little testimony of the event there kind of gave some context as to kind of what organizers will be, preparing for, when it comes to needing to switch things up and make some adjustments. So.
Yeah. So we have 5 minutes left. So we're gonna let's try and knock out a few of these questions, just as many as possible, And so let's just call it a lightning round or whatever. So this question, which is probably not the best one to be a lightning round, but it'll challenge us. So this one is, in your own words, describe Black Terps Matter as a student group. So for the sake of time, I'll say that Black Terps Matter is an anti-racist coalition built out of people that genuinely care about fixing these issues. We take a systemic approach at being anti-racist. So we collaborate with our peers, and we are constantly in meetings with administrators at the school, as well as community leaders and community members to just attain any of the goals that we set for ourselves. So I don't even want to make it too specific because there's so many things that we've worked on and advocated for at this point, but that's what I'd say Black Terps Matter is. What about you, Alyssa, if you want to get to this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna say ditto because we got 5 minutes left. I'm gonna switch up the question. I'm gonna say there's one word that we can describe it. Like what would it be? I would say dynamic. And specifically based on the question, based on the answer that you just gave, because like Black Terps Matter really invests ourselves into quite literally everything. Like you will see us, right, when it comes to needing to make the social justice that we want to see on campus. And so we're always invested, with different events, with different town halls, with different panels, groups, I don't know, whatever event you can probably think of, we've probably done it, probably did it twice. So like yeah, we're definitely considered like dynamic in that sense, because not only are we immersed like within our specific community here at UMD, but we also are, especially with the most of condolence to Saba, amazing work that she does outside of campus as well. We also are able to expand ourselves outside campus too.
Yeah, versatile, dynamic.
Yeah, I like it.
Yes, I like it. Okay, so here's one for you. What is the most rewarding moment for you as a student while you've been a part of Black Terps Matter?
Oh my gosh, we only got 5 minutes.
No,
Honestly,
one thing. Just pick one thing.
I honestly feel like, and this is kind of a really unique answer, but like one of the most respectable things I feel like I've been able to embrace while being a student and a leader is being able to just see the amazing work that the organizers have been able to do. Like literally just like seeing like your journey, like in the beginning of, you know, June, and just like being involved like with, you know, with Nadia, and like the you know, great protest that she hosted back in June, to just now us being at this point and like just seeing you constantly being with like multiple like community works. I don't know, like it's such a humbling thing to me to know that I'm just like surrounded by such like a community of just like y'all that are just always, they're always in it. Like it's very inspiring to me, just like as a student, to like not just like keeping up with like studies and stuff, being motivated that way, but like being motivated to just continuously want to see things through. Like even when I think like, and there are moments in my life where I feel like I will be like feel like things are just very complicated, and like I will want to, I feel very discouraged by it. I feel like just always kind of seeing like your own, you know, like personal fire that both of y'all give, and each of the stuff that y'all do, like that's honestly one of the most humbling things and gracious things to me. And yeah, I feel like I kind of do say that sometimes to y'all. Like I'll just randomly pop up in the group chat, be like, "I love y'all," heart. But like no, like I mean it with like sincerity about like how moving it has been to be able to see both of y'all and your journeys as student leaders and activists here. And I really don't want y'all to like really lose out on that fire like ever, because it really like motivates me really to get up every day and keep doing what I do. So I really appreciate y'all for that.
Yes, it's collective effort. Well, thank you. On behalf of Nanya, I just want to say thanks for
Collectivism.
Yes. Thank you. And I'm very inspired by you. I'd say, and this is the last thing too, so I'm going to try and make it impactful. The most rewarding moment in my mind was high key seeing that the provost resigned and that you, Alyssa, were the final boot to just, because it's so important, you know, that is a woman. Sorry, for some context. 10 years she worked at this school, 10 years. She didn't meet with any students. Alyssa's reaction right now is pretty accurate. She didn't work with any students. She didn't meet with any activists. There's so many student activists that have gone to the University of Maryland that have told me about, she has just held up things all across the board. I mean, the thing that Alyssa really did her thing on was the pass-fail option at the University of Maryland in both the year 2020 and 2021. Can you believe that? 2 years.
It's been a wild 2 years, bro.
So I would just like to say thank you, because that was extremely rewarding. She officially resigned or would retire. Well, I don't even know what she called it, but she's not going to be in her position anymore. And that is as of January 2021. And I promise everyone that's listening to this and will ever listen to this, it would not have happened if Alyssa didn't do what she needed to do. So shout out Alyssa and shout out Black Terps Matter. Definitely one of the most, if not the most rewarding experiences while I've been an organizer of Black Terps Matter. Because that is what happens. That is what happens when you organize people. You get to kick people out of their positions. What was her position? She was the academic provost?
Yeah, she was
directly under the president. Directly under the president. And last year, we just got the president kicked out after 10 years. So then imagine, that was in 2020. And in 2021, the racist president, mind you. And in 2021, we're kicking out the academic provost. I didn't meet with the students that are the reason that she got paid. So thank you.
And that's just also just another thing, just so even note about like how great we are as like just as a unit, is like even with things that aren't like directly like, you know, affecting like okay, I'm gonna rephrase that. So even stuff that isn't of like direct like work like from one of us, like we will still give out our support and like showcase like our support for each other. So like I really appreciate you talking about that, because that was a really hard fight to really pull through on. And yeah, it was just a really humbling experience, and really just moved us back to, you know, the primary reason as to, you know, why I go out and fight in the first place. You know, I feel like I definitely, you know, directly and indirectly wouldn't have been able to do it, you know, without the support from Black Lives Matter. So, you know, like, again, it was just the fire that just moved and continued to move, you know, within the school. So I appreciate that.
I'm over here muted. I said, and it did what it needed to do.
Yeah, I was like, I just saw your face, Bob, and I was like, yeah. Exactly.
No, it really did what it needed to do. So thank you. And so we have to end this now, but thank you to everyone watching and everyone that's ever going to watch. The last thing that I want to make sure to say, because it is another answer for just rewarding moments, but we are able, the two organizers from Black Terps Matter, myself and Nadia, were able to directly work on a set of 25 demands in a Black student leaders working group that President Pines put us in back in, August or September of 2020. And so we've been working hard for a long time, and we were able to actually finalize those demands, a list of 25 in December. And that's something that has literally never, ever happened. Oh no, Alyssa was definitely in there too. Alyssa was in there too, for sure. And so we all worked together so hard on our first set of 10 demands. And we had those at our first protest, June 25th, 2020. And so they've shifted, and some of them have been knocked out, unfortunately. So sad about that over time. But I'm happy to say that we were able to get 6 of our original demands from our list of 10 that we had from that, from what we gave. Actually, I should say specifically what we gave to the administration on July 17th. We have 6 of those on the list of 25. And so just as far as people doing something and completing their goals, like I can definitely say that we accomplished a substantial amount of things, and we could have accomplished nothing. So I'm very thankful. And oh yeah, just to end it off, I guess, and that's really the last thing I wanted to say. Alyssa, is there anything else that you wanted to say about the Black student leaders meetings and organizing to get the demands?
Yeah, this is only just like as like a quick announcement. Was actually just it's funny you mentioned that, because just earlier today, you know, Pines like issued out the email that lists out, you know, some updates that would be incurred of the progress that would be made for the critical issues, as quote critical issues. I still call them demands, but he says critical issues. Anyways, that's another topic. But yeah, so there. So yeah, it's good with the noting that there's 1 officially done, 7 are ongoing, and 17 are still in progress. So that'll definitely be within future discussion and implementation. So it's still good to at least be able to see, though, that this is still something that is this is mainstreamed, and that this is, you know, of course, within transparency, to making sure that all students are a part of the picture and being able to see you know, what's fully being thrown out. I wish, you know, that they listed out exactly of what the thing they completed was, because that would have been helpful for people to see. But you know what I'm saying? It's okay, right? They're still being updating about that. So
yeah, they just launched the website today. So if that doesn't show y'all how in the moment we are with this activism, we stay informed. We stay informed. Mm-hmm. We create the news if we really want to get down to it, but also a topic for another day. Thank you so much to everyone who watched this, anyone that ever will watch this. Follow us on Instagram at Black Terps Matter. Mm-hmm. And Alyssa, do you want to do the announcements? Or
yeah. So first things first, thank you so much to everybody that has been able to attend the past events that we've had this week. It's definitely been very humbling experience, and so just make sure that, you know, you take all that into account for when you are eventually going to apply to be an organizer for Black Terps Matter. Hopefully post, you know, this video that, you know, talks about the fullness of Black Terps Matter, and just being able to see the previous work that we've been able to do on our website and on our social medias. Yeah, feel free to apply. The applications are due on March 31st at 11:59 p.m. You can be able to see the link to apply on the link tree that we have that we use for everything, like linktr.ee/Black Terps Matter. That's also on our Instagram and stuff as well, so you'll be able to quickly see it. So just make sure to be able to keep up the good fight with all of us, and just make sure that you want to, you know, if you want to participate and really go full throttle, then yeah, please apply. Please apply. And we always update. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And we always update events and stuff that Saba and the rest of the gang are going to be doing, you know, on our pages as well. So please stay active and stay updated, and also please join the listserv that is currently on our website. It gives a lot of really insightful and important information and events that's happening. So if you want to be in the know, then definitely do that.
Yes. Follow us on Instagram at Black Terps Matter. Follow us on Twitter at BLMUMCP. And feel free to go there and stalk us just in case you think that we're actually not doing any work. And yeah, we're going to go now. So you all have a nice rest of your night or whenever you're watching this live.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.